Did you know some of the world's sweetest foods come from the harshest deserts? It's a fact that surprises many because when we picture deserts, we imagine endless sand, scorching heat, and a struggle just to survive. Yet, hidden within these unforgiving landscapes are treasures that have nourished people for thousands of years. It's a surprising twist. Where you expect only struggle, you find dates and figs bursting with sugar. These fruits are like nature's candy, packed with energy and sweetness, thriving where almost nothing else can. The scarcity of the desert forced ancient people to become incredibly creative. They learned to read the land, to spot the smallest signs of life, and to use every resource to its fullest. They didn't just survive, they found ways to create moments of pleasure from the most unlikely sources. Sharing food became a celebration, a way to connect and find joy even in the harshest conditions. Every bite had to count. Energy, nutrients, and if possible, a little joy. A single date or fig could lift spirits and provide the strength to keep going. The desert became a hidden pantry, its secrets unlocked by those who learned its rhythms. Knowledge was passed down through generations, teaching which plants to trust and how to find water where none seemed to exist. With just a handful of ingredients, they built entire food cultures, turning survival into an art. Simple recipes became traditions, and every meal was a testament to ingenuity. Water was more precious than gold, and nothing could be wasted. Every drop was cherished, and every meal was carefully planned to make the most of what little was available. Mastery of a few ingredients led to diets that were simple, effective, and delicious. These foods provided everything needed to endure the desert's challenges. When you taste a sweet date or drizzle olive oil on bread, you're tasting a story of ancient survival. Each flavor is a reminder of the resourcefulness and hope that shaped these traditions. These foods are the legacy of people who saw opportunity in emptiness. They worked together, turning scarcity into abundance through patience and perseverance. They cultivated sweetness and life where it seemed impossible. Oases became symbols of hope, and every harvest was a victory over the elements. It's a powerful reminder. The best things in our kitchens often come from the toughest places. The flavors we enjoy today are rooted in stories of survival and adaptation. That simple bite of food carries a story of resilience. Every taste is a tribute to the ingenuity and spirit of those who found sweetness in survival. Picture a desert, an endless sea of sand where the sun blazes overhead and life seems impossible. Instantly, the image of a camel comes to mind, its silhouette moving steadily across the dunes. For ancient Bedouins, the camel was far more than just a means of transport. It was a walking pantry, a lifeline, and a trusted companion. Camel milk was essential. Rich, hydrating, and packed with nutrients, it could sustain a person for days when food was scarce. For nomads, the health of their camels was directly tied to their own survival. A strong, well-fed camel meant hope and security. Milk could be consumed fresh, providing instant nourishment and hydration in the relentless heat. Or it could be fermented into a yogurt-like drink, which was easier to store and carry on long journeys across the sands. This simple act of fermentation introduced probiotics, making the drink not only last longer but also healthier for the gut. In times of dire need, camels could provide meat, a rare and precious source of protein in the desert. But nothing was wasted. Every part of the camel was used: meat for food, hide for shelter and tools, even bones for implements. The camel provided clothing, warmth, and protection from the harsh desert winds. This relationship was deeply symbiotic. Bedouins cared for their camels with devotion, and in return, camels sustained entire families. It was a bond built on mutual respect, trust, and partnership, not just utility. This connection allowed desert cultures to thrive, building vibrant communities that moved with the seasons and the sands. To the Bedouin, the camel was family, a cherished companion, not just a beast of burden. Together, they created a unique, mobile culture, adapting to the ever-changing desert environment. Their story is a powerful lesson in living in harmony with nature, respecting its challenges and gifts. The desert's harshness forged a partnership that endured for centuries, shaping both people and animals. In the end, survival in the desert depended on understanding, respect, and the unbreakable bond between human and camel. If the camel was the desert's mobile pantry, carrying people and goods across endless sands, the date palm was its anchor, rooted deep, steadfast, and vital to survival. Wherever water appeared, so did groves of date palms, the legendary tree of life, transforming barren land into thriving oases. Dates were energy powerhouses, packed with natural sugar, fiber, and essential minerals, providing a quick boost for travelers and a staple for families. Dried, they lasted for months, resisting spoilage in the harsh climate, perfect for nomads and settlers alike. Dates could be eaten whole, ground into a nourishing paste, or used to sweeten other foods, enriching stews, breads, and desserts with their golden sweetness. The palm gave more than fruit, its leaves woven into baskets and mats, its wood used for building shelters, and its strong fibers twisted into ropes. Nothing was wasted. Every part had a purpose. Planting a date palm was an act of hope, an investment for generations yet to come, as these trees can live and bear fruit for decades. The tree was revered in art and religion, a symbol of prosperity, abundance, and even spiritual renewal across ancient civilizations. Growing dates required care, hand pollination, careful cultivation, and above all, patience, as years could pass before the first harvest. This was a shift from foraging to farming, marking a new era of settled life and agricultural innovation in the desert. Life in the oasis revolved around the date harvest, a sweet reward for months of hard work and a time of celebration and community. The date palm was a complete ecosystem, sustaining not just people, but birds, insects, and animals, an oasis of life in the desert's heart. Its legacy is a testament to human ingenuity, cultivation, and the enduring bond between people and the land. Beyond the oases, other plants thrived, figs and olives, ancient companions of humanity. The fig tree's deep roots found water where others couldn't, producing sweet, energy-rich fruit. Dried figs became nature's original energy bar, portable, long-lasting, and vital for travelers. The olive tree, resilient and ancient, grew in rocky, sun-baked soil. Olives, bitter at first, were transformed by curing into savory, fatty staples. Olive oil was the real treasure: food, lamp fuel, skin moisturizer, and medicine. It added richness and satisfaction to simple meals. Olive oil became a pillar of Mediterranean and Middle Eastern cuisine. These trees shaped diets, economies, and cultures. Their ability to thrive in harsh climates made them essential. The gifts of figs and olives are ancient, enduring, and transformative. They turned arid earth into a source of abundance. Farming in the desert sounds impossible, but ancient people made it work with ingenuity. Water was everything, so they developed clever ways to capture and distribute every drop. They bred drought-resistant grains, wheat, barley, millet, that could survive with little water. These grains became dietary staples, ground into flour for flatbreads. Ancient engineers built qanats, underground tunnels carrying water for miles, protected from evaporation. Terraces trapped rainwater and prevented erosion, creating small farmable plots. Communities formed around water sources and fields. Cooperation and shared knowledge were essential. These techniques allowed permanent settlements in otherwise uninhabitable places. Farming brought stability, culture, and trade. Human creativity turned barren ground into life. The desert bloomed through innovation and respect for nature. In the desert, salt and spices were more valuable than gold. Salt preserved food and sustained life in the heat. Without it, survival was impossible. Salt mines became economic powerhouses, and salt itself was used as currency. Trade routes sprang up to move salt from where it was plentiful to where it was scarce. Spices like frankincense and myrrh, and those from distant lands, traveled these same routes. Spices masked spoilage, added flavor, and became luxury items. The craving for these tastes drove long-distance trade, connecting distant cultures. The desert was both a source and a highway for the world's most coveted flavors. The Silk Road was more than a trade route. It was a river of flavor flowing through deserts and mountains. Caravans carried not just silk, but dried fruits, nuts, grains, and spices. Along the way, merchants traded goods, spreading new ingredients and culinary ideas. Grapes traveled east, peaches and apricots went west, transforming cuisines across continents. The desert shaped what could be traded. Only the toughest, most valuable foods survived the journey. Dried, non-perishable goods became staples of trade. The Silk Road led the east and west, forging new food traditions. The desert wasn't just a barrier, it was a filter, refining what reached distant tables. Every bite of this food carries the story of ancient trade and resilience. are the legacy of these epic journeys. In the desert, harvest time was a race against spoilers. The sun and dry air became tools for the preservation. Fruits and vegetables were sun-dried, concentrating their flavors. Meat and fish were salted and dried, creating early jerky for long journeys. Fermentation turned milk into yogurt, grains into bread and beer, and vegetables into pickles. These simple, natural techniques required no fancy equipment, just knowledge and patience. Preserved foods became signature flavors: chewy dried fruit, tangy pickles, salty cured meats. Preservation wasn't just survival, it was flavor building. These methods let people enjoy variety, even in scarcity. The ingenuity of desert preservation still shapes our food today. Every preserved bite is a taste of ancient wisdom. The foods on our plates today carry the legacy of ancient deserts. Sweet dates, savory olives, and warm spices are artifacts of resilience and ingenuity. Techniques like sun-drying, curing, and fermenting are now global culinary foundations. Drought-resistant grains from the Fertile Crescent feed billions. Desert trade routes blended cultures and flavors, creating new food traditions. Desert cuisine is about simplicity, respect, and making the most of every ingredient. It celebrates the pure quality of a date, olive oil, or spice. The best meals often come from just a few well-chosen things. The desert, far from empty, is a place of culinary creation and connection. Every bite is a story of survival, innovation, and shared humanity.